This week on Gettin Deep, we had Tony Ansara, one of Rockingham's best real estate agents. And we spoke about how he went from creating one of the best kebab shops in Western Australia to become one of the top selling real estate agents in Rockingham. We also spoke about what kind of mentality and perspective in life get you there and what we think is happening with technology from past to the future.
With being a real estate sales rep, with the crazy market, with the crazy volume you're doing, and your question to me was, are you working mad hours and, are you working crazy to keep on top of all of it?
Yeah.
And we were talking about, well, the reality of any business, no matter what it is you're doing, is that you need to refine it.
Yeah.
You define it and refine it as you go along with anything. So I was telling you, and this conversation came up with Ange and I specifically, and we were talking about it. We were saying, well, okay, so we've been working together since 2001 when we started the Kebab Kitchen.
Yeah.
And obviously, moving forward in any business, you go through your trials, you go through your tribulations. What's working, what's not working. And I think anybody in business has always got to be thinking, how can I make this better?
Yeah.
How can I make this easier? How can I make this more refined?
And so, good businessman anyway.
You have to.
Yeah.
As time goes on, let's just say in that particular business, we refined it down to a fine art.
Yeah.
We knew what to order, we knew what to do, we knew what the customers wanted, we knew the pitfalls, we knew how to move around all of that so that the end product in that particular business was exactly what the customer wanted because we'd gone through the trials and tribulations. But the same thing, we moved into real estate and it was like, okay, well now we're starting on this new venture.
Yeah.
And you go from one business where you've mastered it and you've refined it so finely to all of a sudden almost having to start again.
Yeah.
But
because how much of having the best kebab shop in Rockingham translates to being one of the best real estate agents in Rockingham?
I think it comes back down to an attitude of anything. If you're going to do something, depends who you are. From my perspective, if you're going to do something, don't do it half-ass.
Yeah.
Do it 100%. Go hard or go home.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do it right or
don't bother.
don't bother.
Yeah.
Exactly. But moving into that particular business, so now to go back to your original question, over 8 years now, Ange and I are still working together very strongly.
Yeah.
I have my strengths, she has her strengths. Together, Wonder Twin Powers activate, if anybody remembers, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And so we've refined the system. So we've refined it in such a way where, no, I don't feel overwhelmed with anything. In fact, bring it on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody, I'll list them, I'll work them, no problem. She does her thing, I do my thing. My admin in the office do their thing. Sweet as.
Well-oiled machine, nice and easy.
Yeah, if you like anything.
Do you think when you started that you would get as easy as you think it is now? Do you think when you first started off, you're there's so much more to learn, to understand, to refine? Did you think it would get to a point where you're looking at it going, oh, it's actually in that?
I remember I sat down with a girl once upon a time and she'd been in the real estate industry for about 5 years. And Ange and I sat down with her together and we said, look, this is what we'd like to achieve. And then she said, all right, well, this is what you need to do. And so we just listened, we had a coffee and it was all good and we moved on our way.
Yeah.
And I think anything you do, it came to a stage where, and I believe this, where we had the end goal. I'm not even going to say the end goal. We had goals in mind in which we wanted to achieve. And I believe that at the end of the day, if you put your thought power to it, you can create anything in your life. If you truly believe it in your heart, you truly believe it in your mind, and you do the actions to achieve it, the universe will open up the doors. Doors that didn't even exist will open up for you.
Yeah.
And so we always knew that it was going to be a process we were going to learn, but we had a vision in mind of what we wanted to achieve, and we worked towards it, and then it just all fell into place.
Yeah.
The right people from the right places, the right mentors, just crazy shit. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a bit like that.
Yeah.
Do you expect to achieve it? Hell yeah, you expect excellence out of yourself, then you'll expect to achieve that.
Yeah. And I think that's from everyone that I've met and hung out with at any point, that's the one thing that defines the greatness, is the belief that it can be done. And if you believe it can be done, they will make it happen.
I think if you believe anything, I think it's a little secret that that the powers of the system don't want people to know.
Yeah.
I think that most people walk around, and haven't we all? The key is within our mind.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The key is in your heart, and the key is in your mind. And you see those people that, and I don't know if you've ever seen this, there's certain kinds of people out there that their life is full of drama, one after another.
Yep.
They're miserable. Their health's shit. Just everything doesn't seem to go right for them.
Yeah. And they always say that. They're like, oh, everything goes bad. Everything's always wrong. And they have that attitude all the time.
And that's what it comes down to. I think they need to shift their perspective and their attitude, and then you find that life will open up for you.
Yeah.
So I think the 1%er, for anybody, there's a lot of smart people out there. In real estate, I would say 90% of the sales reps are smarter than I am.
Just don't work as hard.
Well, you've just got to wonder about. Do they have? It takes a number of things to succeed, and then obviously just being smart.
Yeah.
It's not the all and end all, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, that mental attitude has to come into play. Also, the way that the universe puts it together for you, who shows up in your life. I think there's a myriad of things that create success. It's not just a one-faceted factor.
Yeah.
So I always say, if a dumb idiot like me can do it, seriously, anybody can, if you believe you can.
If you believe it. That's the big one, is the belief.
Yeah.
So what made you start a kebab shop? What was the catalyst of that? Like, what were you doing before it, and what went, hey, look, I'm going to do kebabs? Because you did it in a pretty big way. And if anyone that's not from Rockingham or doesn't understand WA from the podcast, Tony did run the best kebab shop in Rockingham, which was even outside of Rockingham. People knew about it.
So I'm not going to take any credit for that. The credit for that comes from my father, in all fairness.
Yeah.
So my dad was actually a horologist. He was a jeweler. He was a watchmaker.
Okay.
That's what he grew up. That's what my grandfather did, and that's what he taught my father. When my father rolled into Sydney in 1960 something, and he started to see, coming from Jordan, going to Sydney, he fell in love for some reason. Don't ask me why. He fell in love with the kebab business, and he just made up his mind that he wasn't going to be a jeweler and a horologist. He wanted to get into kebabs.
That's a big change.
I tell you, my dad's special. That's all I'm going to say. So I would say, we'd moved back from the United States in 1980. We spent a year in Sydney. He scoured to open his business there. Didn't find it. Drove across to Perth. Hung around for a couple of weeks. Found a location in Plaza Arcade in Perth City.
Yep.
And he opened the first kebab shop in Perth City.
Really?
Number one. There was no kebabs in Perth except for Alto's in Northbridge, who opened around the same time.
Yep.
And they may have had like Peters on the Sea in Scarborough and what have you, but there was none. But in the city itself, Dad and Mum opened the first one, and they went through their trials and tribulations. Let me tell you something. They suffered and they struggled.
I can imagine being one of the first kebab shops the first in the city for one is pretty big thing to do.
With hardly any experience.
Yeah.
So what did Dad do? So Dad came from the United States, looked around, went, God, they don't do this in Australia. I'm going to do a buy one, take one free promotion. So we've got the videos of it. So Plaza Arcade's changed now. But imagine the line halfway up Plaza Arcade all the way to where the entrance of Myer is on Murray Street.
I know, yeah. That's a pretty big line.
Oh, I'm telling you, I've got it on video. So Dad did the first buy one, take one free promotion. Why? Just because he wanted to get his name out there. He didn't care. He was making no money. He just was like, cool, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Trials and tribulations, that business. The next one they did in Morley. The next one we opened in Rockingham City. That's when I was 16, and I hung around and worked there for about 5 years. So really, at the end of the day, I'd moved to the USA. I was studying in naturopathic medicine. I was living my life. I just got married, and I was just not catching up the way I wanted to catch up. And the old man called me and said, well, I've secured a lease in a place called Warnbro. And he goes, what do you think? He says, come on back. Let's work a few years. Let's just do a 2-year plan. Let's build it up, cash it out. You get set up a little bit and we'll do what we do.
Yeah.
So I said, all right. I said, Ange, what do you think? She said, all right, let's go for the adventure. So we came back, 2-3 year plan, turned into 15. And there you go.
Jeez. I wouldn't have thought that's how deep the story of the kebab shop was.
Oh, it goes, there's so much more to it. But in the long and short, how it was created, well, when we opened that shop in Warnbro, it wasn't that we didn't have any experience.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a family business. I'd grown up in it.
Yeah.
So we started, I think the implication of Ange and I working together, we really conquered it from the perspective of the physical labor and setting up the systems, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, 15 years later, like I say, well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
But the problem is for me is golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
I couldn't leave.
Yeah.
Because if I left it to whoever to run,
your legacy goes.
it wasn't as well oiled as it should be. So that's where the problem is like, okay, fantastic business, but fuck me, man, I can't live here for the rest of my life and I'll have a heart attack. I'll die a young man in the kebab shop.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I had this plan and I had this vision, and I'll tell you, this is the honest to God truth. We were working with the teenagers, all the kids, and they're all cleaning and doing their thing and having fun and like they did. And Ange and I happened to be in the shop that night together. It was about 11 o'clock at night. I never forgot it. And I was re-sweeping the frickin' floor after the kids.
Yep.
Re-sweeping it because, there was a certain condition that it had to be left in. And we sat there together and I looked at her, and if she was here, she'd look at me. She said, I remember that. I said, babe, we're getting older. And I said, we need to find something that we can still work together, God willing, not to have any leases or the rest of it. I don't want to deal with any landlords, etc.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic to be able to work from home and to be able to make some sort of a living where we could live our lives.
Yeah.
I wonder what we can do.
Pretty obvious once you know the answer.
And that leads into that.
Yeah.
So that business sold.
How long did it take you to figure that was real estate?
Yeah, so 15 years from the age of 25 to 40.
Yeah.
In Warnbro. And it was a pretty good business. Not everybody loved those kebabs, but enough people did.
I've never met anyone that said a bad word about them.
Enough people did that we were pretty busy.
Yeah.
And of those enough people, I used to get a lot of the sales reps in town, would come in. And as you do, you get to know them, you see them. I always thought real estate sales would vibe with me because I've always been into sales.
Yeah.
I don't care what you sell. You sell a sandwich or you sell nutritional supplements or you sell houses, it's the same process.
Yeah.
So as I got older and I'd matured, I started to say, well, I take care of my family. Why do I need to sell small stuff when I can just sell big stuff?
This is that exact thought is the exact one that's made me go from selling wine to new homes. One day I was like, why? I can do this with bigger things that cost more money.
Exactly.
So why don't I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you believe you can.
You can.
Well, you can and you will.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. That is hilarious. It's the exact same thought I had. It just goes to show sales is one of those things. Once you understand it, it's pretty straightforward.
I remember sort of like reading. So I was an avid reader and I used just sit at home and read all the time. And at the age of probably 20, I'd just read a lot of those, I don't want to call them self-help books, but
I like them.
Motivational books, books to enlighten you, books to open your mind up to different things,
different perspectives.
How to win friends and influence people, believe and achieve. We could go through a list, but one thing that I always felt was just like cool. I'd always learn. You want to make money. One of the best professions in the world to make money. One of the best, And they've said it. They've been saying it ever since I was a little kid. Get into sales.
Yeah. Get paid more than doctors, get paid more than anyone else.
I think if you're successful at what you do, the best insurance salesmen, they do pretty good.
Yep.
The best real estate salespeople, they do okay. You know, the best home salespeople, sure, they do pretty good. Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, you've got to start to think to yourself, it's cool to sell stuff for other people, small things, and make an okay wage. But if you've got it in you and you believe in yourself and you know that you can do it, get into the big stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the little stuff is a great training mechanism, but
Amen. Yeah.
because you can deal with more people faster.
Yeah.
And you'll quickly learn you either hate people enough to not do this or you love them enough to do it.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's because my first sales job that was an actual job was the door-to-door Foxtel. And that was, I quickly learned, I was like, people are dumb. And I don't mean this in the meanest way. It's like, they forget that, you've knocked on 100 doors today. You would have heard the same joke that they tell their friend that they told their friend that they all said to a door knocker. But I've heard it 20 times today. And I was like, oh, this is just repetitive. It's not annoying. I never understood getting annoyed at someone that's like, oh, and they'd make some like dumb joke or they'd be like, go away, you're a fucking loser. I'm like, oh, well, maybe that guy's having a bad day.
Maybe.
You know, I knocked on their door. Maybe they were mid-wank and they're like, what are you doing? You're like, oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, some people get really quite grouchy.
But they could have really bad lives. That was what I'd tell myself. If I walked away from someone, I got to be threatened to be shot one time because I stood on someone's lawn and I was like,
Get a grip.
okay, I won't stand on your lawn. Sorry.
Get a grip.
Yeah.
I will shoot you because you're on my lawn. Get a grip.
It was a lady, actually.
Oh, she's sweet. I want to introduce her to my mom. Yeah.
But I was like, wow, like how bad has her week been that's how she speaks to someone that's coming to her door? Like, who's she worried that's coming to the door that's how bad you've got to be? And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not even annoyed. That's just kind of like sad for her.
Yeah, I've had all kinds of experiences like that. Bobby and I were doing a photo shoot for a property in Rockingham once, and I parked down the street not even on the grass, on the curb, away from everything, but I just did not realize I blocked some guy's side access a little bit. Well, I didn't realize. It wasn't a big deal. We're going to be there like for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He could have just said, I would have said, yes, sir. I would have just moved. I apologize. No. He didn't want to say it like that.
Yeah.
He wanted to let me know that if I didn't move, he was going to ram my car. And I was just like, get a grip, man. Just be cool, bro. No big deal.
You don't need to remind me you're going to ram it. Like, I'm more likely to leave it there.
I remember when I started in real estate, so I didn't have much going on when I first started. So I'd go to my boss and I'd say, Ingrid, what should I do? And she'd give me this whole stack of paper with all these names and numbers on there. She goes, there's my database. She goes, start calling him.
Yep.
And I was like, okay. So I sat down, and it wasn't my favorite job, to be honest with you, cold calling. But I mean, yeah, it's pretty much how it goes. It's like, bring, hi, this is Tony from, at the time, whatever, real estate, fuck off. Next call. And I think 9 out of 10 calls was pretty much people just hanging up on you, telling you to get fucked or whatever the case is. But then it's that 1 in 10 that go, oh yeah, maybe,
Yeah, and that's all it takes. Like,
yeah.
I think for people that want to do sales, I tell them all the time, like, find the hardest sales job. Do it for a month. I was like, then no matter what you think about sales, that'll tell you if you're going to do it or not.
Yeah.
That's the make or break. A month doing door to door or in the shops selling charity. That stuff will make you go, I can do this, or this. Nah, no thanks.
Yeah, you have to have a pretty tough exterior, and you have to let stuff roll off of you like water off a duck's back.
I think it's like not letting things phase you. It's just go, who cares?
You have to be able to deal with rejection. You have to be able to deal with people telling you to get stuff. Do you mean you have to deal with people making up falsities about you and lying about you? You have to be able to be like, cool, I know what's what.
Yeah.
All good. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stories, the lies, that's kind of the funniest one. And
oh, wow.
I find it funny because when like your manager will believe it and you're like, you've been doing this too. Like, have I done this before? Is this a once-off out of like 1 in 100 people that's saying this? They probably didn't do it then, did I?
Do you know the worst sort of with technology is awesome, but one thing that I find that sucks, and I think it's for anybody, is that anybody can get onto Google,
Look you up, find all the information.
and they can pretty much just say anything they want about you.
Oh yeah.
True, not true, made up. That doesn't seem to be very realistic.
Yeah.
But then I think at the end of the day, I don't get much of that anyway. But I think if you get 99 good reviews and one person, wants to say whatever they want to say, you got to hope to yourself that the average common sense person might get a bit of an idea about what's what, But that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
So you have to have a tough exterior.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Do you find people are more, because you obviously the kebab shop started in a time where the internet wasn't as prevalent. Do you find that the more the internet's come out nowadays, that people are more likely to be arseholes online than they were before? Or like it's easier for people to say bad stuff about a business than it was before?
Oh, man, I tell you what, and that stuff, before I started to learn how to have a tough exterior, that stuff used to really affect me.
Yeah.
So you'd put your heart and soul into it. You'd be there watching every step of the way to make sure that, and then somebody comes back and says whatever they want to say.
Yeah.
Oh, it used to feel like, back in the days, it was like stab in the heart.
Yeah.
But again, I think you have to evolve from that, because if you want to be in the public eye, you have to expect that.
It's going to happen.
My parents taught me a lot. My parents were old school. They came from the old country. They I always say, I have a wog dad, which is my real dad.
Yeah.
And then I have a white boy dad who was my mentor, who taught me the stuff my wog dad didn't know.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like whatever the case is. But one thing my parents did teach me very clearly from day one was, if you're going to be doing whatever the case is and you're going to be in the public eye, seriously, if you can please 7 out of 10 people, you are a genius.
Yep.
Remember that. So don't worry about the 3. It's just inevitable. They're not going to like you. They're not going to like the shape of your nose. They're not going to like the color shirt you wear, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So 7 out of 10 to me is perfection.
Yeah.
And anything more than that, well, good luck to you.
Well, the 3 are usually going to be louder than the 7 as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, it can be like that.
Yeah.
You got to be tough. You got to keep moving forward, and you got to believe in yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Let people talk.
I mean, if you don't, you look worse. I've made the mistake of arguing with people before when they're illogical, and you're like, yeah, no, and you're trying to like prove that they're ridiculous in what they're saying, and quickly you look just as stupid as them, and you're like, why am I doing this?
I'm going to go back to what we said before. If you believe it, then you're right.
Yeah.
So that way I say to people, well, if you believe it, then you're right.
Yeah.
But hey, may not mean that I want to believe that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
don't force your opinion on me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But you're right. And that just solves all complications right there.
It does. You can finish any argument, anything. It's not even an argument anymore. It's
Boom,
just a
boom shaka jam. I agree with you, sweet as. Let's move on.
yeah. Try and teach my kids that.
Yeah.
It's working yet.
Yeah, well, my cousin sent me a message, and she was saying something, and she was telling me about her kids. And I said, love, at the end of the day, you can try to teach them anything you want, but they're not going to listen to you. But don't worry, time will teach them. Simple as that.
Yep.
We all learn.
Yep.
And hey man, keep it real. I wasn't who I am at 20. I was a different person. At 30, I was a different person. And on and on.
Yeah.
We don't stay the same.
I think one of the biggest things I got taught that was so stupid when I was younger was when people get angry at you for changing. And then it was like, oh, but you're not the same. And you'd hear that, you're like, it's like, yeah, but I thought that was right. You had to stay the same your whole life when I was younger. Until I got older and was like, why would I want to be that dumb? Like, the shit I did at 16, why would I want to continue doing that? Like, why? That's stupid.
Hey, bro, you've changed. You're 47 and you're not wearing your hat backwards anymore and your jeans all baggy and, get a grip, man.
Yeah.
Aren't we supposed to evolve?
Well, I think there's this false thing of people that don't evolve, or like adults you meet that have kind of stayed in that shitty zone in life.
Then you know what I would say? You were hanging out with the wrong people.
I was, yeah, no, 100%.
Because your tribe will go, I love that you're evolving.
Yeah.
Let's evolve together.
Yeah. You got to find the right people, which is, I have this, actually, this is probably a really good thing to talk about, because I have this thought process, like I kind of want to leave Rockingham as a whole, just because I know the way that I grew up, and I was like, the people I was around, the friends I was around, the majority of people were like broken families, bad shit, and then I go, the way I learned a lot of stuff was from the people I hang out with. And I go, my kid's going to go through the same processes. And then I'm like, oh, can I just take them somewhere else so they hang around people that are in different situations so they learn things differently? And I wonder, have you ever had that thought process? Did you see that? Because you deal with the people that are buying the houses and living here.
I'd say...
Or do you think the suburbs evolving?
No, I think there's good and bad and ugly everywhere. That's my feels.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you're in Claremont or Dalkeith, you still get the good, bad and ugly as much as you do in Balga, as much as you do in Cooling Up, you know?
Yeah.
I teach my kids, and I say it, and I'm a proponent of it, you are the product of the 5 people you hang around with the most. I've been telling them that ever since they were born.
Yeah.
If you hang around with 4 assholes, you will become the 5th asshole. If you hang around with 5 champions, you become a champion.
Yeah.
So it's vibrationally attuned. That's how it goes. So yes, you have to be super careful who you're spending your time with and all the rest of it. In fact, funnily enough, I'll tell you, I was watching something and I saw this video, and they had this tuning fork, and it was awesome. And they had this other tuning fork which was attuned at 400. We'll go 432 hertz. Let's not talk about 440. Let's go 432 hertz. Cool. And they had this little ball attached to it, and then they had this other tuning fork right next to it at, call it 440, whatever the case is, and they'd bang it, and nothing would happen with this ball. Now, once they attuned this one at 432 and this one at 432, and they bang that tuning fork, all of a sudden that ball started to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just goes to show you we're vibrationally aligned.
Yeah.
Everything is energy when you break it down. Be careful who you're spending your time with. Also be careful of what you're thinking, what you're creating, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a champion, you need to hang around with champions. If you want to be rich, that's your aim, you better have some wealthy friends. If you, whatever it is you want to do, you want to be smart, then you hang around with academics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. That is, I've learned a lot from changing the people I hang out with. By instantly going, okay, what are you doing that's great? I think, okay, well, I got to do some great shit. So I'm gonna, and sometimes it's hard. I find that in Perth, especially, it's a small place. There's only 2.8 million people here. It's hard sometimes to find people that are in the same kind of path. And I think something I didn't learn when I was younger, because I started being a dad at 21, was you can leave. And I think I try and tell a lot of people that nowadays. Like, I've got young friends that aren't really doing much, and they talk about doing stuff, and I'm like, dude, if you can't do it here, just leave. Because you know what it's going to be? If you go somewhere you don't know what you're doing, you've got a year before you're going to get enough friends to slow you down. Or you'll find the people that are doing the things you want to do there, because you've got no backup option. You've got no friends that you can lean back on that aren't doing things. You have to find people that are doing what you want to do, and you end up doing it, and you'll get so much better.
When I was studying in naturopathic medicine, I left and I lived in the USA.
Yeah.
From I can't even remember, 1998 to 2001 or something like that. And that's what I was into. I was into naturopathic medicine. I was into natural healing. I was into nutrition, sports nutrition. I was full on into it. Who do you think I hung around with? I started working at one of the biggest health food supplement specialty stores in Michigan, which was known all around the place. And then all my friends and all the people I hung around with were attuned to the same.
Yeah.
And because of that, I took off, man, like big time.
Yeah.
But again, imagine like you wouldn't have had the same result if you worked in the bank, because that was your daytime job, but your passion was something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, it's kind of like whatever it is that you want to achieve, you really need to get into that.
Really step into it.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
Or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least with the right kind of people that have that same thought process and what have you.
Yeah. Yeah. I find that a lot, because it's I've done a few different things in my time, but the more you get immersed in it, the quicker you can learn, the quicker you can get, like, you become obsessed and you'll get great.
And you meet the right people and the doors open, and all of a sudden you go, wow, how did this happen?
Well, you start seeing people in places that you're like, oh, you see opportunities that you would have never noticed before because you weren't just there in it. Massively, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so always say you wanna be a big business person, cool, but all your friends are on the pipe on the weekend and whatever the case is, you're not going to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because you're not attuned.
Yeah.
So attune yourself to where whatever it is that you want to achieve, you need to attune yourself to that. Just like that tuning fork.
Yes, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a physical representation of exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's the same thing as like, if you go to the pub on the weekend, you're not going to find the guys running the pub.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that you'll stay in real estate permanently now, or do you think one day you'll go on board, or what do you think?
Well, I don't think about the future too much because the future doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
The future is created by me in the present.
Yeah.
So in the present, I've been selling real estate now for 8 years. I love it. I enjoy it, truly. Like,
Yep.
it makes my heart sing when I think, oh man, I remember the days when I used to only dream about doing this stuff, and now I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It provides a good lifestyle for my wife and I.
Because I've seen you've been doing a lot of trails, especially like up in Albany and whatnot.
Oh man, I think what's happened is post-COVID.
Yeah.
Seriously, post-COVID, everything went exponential in technology, and because of the way that I'm set up, I don't need to skip a beat. If I've got a telephone that works and an internet connection, dead set. I've done deals. I'm telling you, bro. I've been on the top in the Stirling Ranges, sitting at the top of Tulbrinna, bloody sitting there putting deals together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because the phone reception is freaking amazing.
There's no one around, so it's going to be the best, right?
It's so good. But the point is like, yeah, I think also it comes back down to a balance in life. And I think with everything you go, cool. Let's say for me personally, I'm now 47 years old. I have my health. I have the right circumstances. And I can work pretty much from anywhere because I'm set up like that.
Yeah.
Without having to skip a beat. So why not?
Yeah.
If you don't do it now,
When?
when are you going to do it? Oh, I'll do it in the future. What if there is no future? What if you go drive out and get T-boned and lose the use of your legs? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So, yeah, trail hiking. I got old. I don't lift weights as hard as I used to anymore. I'm not really that interested in it. I do, just to keep fit.
Yeah.
But I find, trail hiking is awesome. And I think Ange and I have started to take up dance lessons, so that's really awesome. And, yeah, there's a few things I want to do in my life. So if I've got the chance to do them,
So why not?
I'm doing them.
How does it feel to be a student again for dance lessons? Or are you always kind of a student, I think? I feel like you are. But
We're always students.
yeah. Okay, cool. That was the answer I was expecting.
No, you never stop learning.
People do, and that's when they start going backwards.
No, Ange and I have been wanting to learn how to waltz and jive and foxtrot and all the rest of it for years. We've been talking about it for 20 years. And it was, again, procrastination. Oh, we're too busy. Oh, whatever the case is. I think one day we just looked at each other and went, and she goes, I'm going to do dance lessons. You coming? And I went, heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
We just booked it and we started. And we love it.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So elegant. Have to do a waltz. I used to see those, you'd watch TV and you'd see like in these big halls back in the old days, and then everybody'd be waltzing around. And I used to think to myself, that's so elegant. That's so nice, you know, or seeing him jive back in the 50s. And I always thought, that's
So
cool.
organised.
Oh, and so that was fun. I learned to surf once upon a time because I wanted to.
Yep.
So I just hammered that. I think my next one is I want to learn to play golf.
Golf. I tried learning golf, and the small things I did learn was how it's not about how hard you can hit it.
It's technique, isn't it?
It's all technique. And that was where I was like, what? This is not in any way what I thought. But I suppose I was like Happy Gilmore's golf in my eyes.
Smack it as hard as you can.
Yeah. And then, actually it was my boxer Foxtel. He was like, oh, we'll go to the driving range. And he's like, oh, I'll hit it into that barrel over there. And I'm like, what? No way.
Did he?
Yeah. And he's like, well, this is what you got to do. And he was explaining, and I was like, oh. And then I tried doing it, and I was like, there is so much more to this than just whacking a ball.
Man, it's pretty good, man, to be able to smack a ball into a bloody barrel, mate.
Yeah, he was pretty good. But I think it was that thing of, he's like, if you want to hang out with rich people, where could you find them? on a golf course. And he's like, so I got good at golf. And I was like, well,
100%.
yeah,
And actually anywhere, because people are people. People do all kinds of stuff, you know. So I always say to people, you want to do it.
yeah,
And don't wait.
yeah. Or if you don't start now, when?
Don't wait. If you've got a passion or you want to try something or whatever the case is, get on with it.
Yeah,
But what a shame to be stuck in a position all of your life where you're stuck in golden handcuffs or you're stuck in a box or whatever the case is.
yeah,
I'll leave this with this one, right? And I say it to people all the time. Do you know what a travesty in life is? A travesty in life, and seriously, screw that. If you're on your deathbed and you're lucky to have lived a long life and you're saying, I wish, mate, you failed.
yeah,
Don't wish, do,
yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah. It's funny. I've got one of my kids. He's got this irrational fear of death. I don't know if it's irrational because people should be scared of it, but it happens every now and then. And as he goes to bed, he wakes up and he comes in crying. He's like, I'm scared of dying again, Dad. And I was like, good. You should be, because that will make you live. Because if you aren't scared of it, then you'll forget to live. And I was like, but if you worry about it and you don't live and you spend your time thinking about it as opposed to thinking of things you want to do, you'll be sad when you're old.
Death and birth are the same thing, in my opinion. The death of something is the birth of something else.
Yeah.
And if everything back down to the most basic thing is energetic, then the fact of the matter is your boy shouldn't be afraid of dying at all, because he has to understand he's only a temporary visitor in this realm. And to be honest with you, why would you even want to stay here? It's thick, it's heavy.
He hasn't seen the bad stuff yet.
Well, I'm just saying.
He's only 7.
He's a spirit in a meat suit, basically.
Yeah.
And the meat suit ages and gets old.
Yeah.
I think death and rebirth are one and the same. So there's nothing to fear in this life. What's that song of Don't Fear the Reaper?
Yeah.
Seasons don't fear the reaper, neither do the winds or the summer's rains. If you know what song I'm talking about, I'm referring to. Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
Well, it is like that, you know. Was the moon afraid, you know, that the sun is going to come up? No, the moon does its thing and the sun comes up, and, you know, the cycles go on, and hey, the cycles go on and we're recycled, and on and on we go, you know.
Yeah. Because I try and do a thing where I'll try and think like 50 years ahead and 50 years behind and go, what's such a big difference that can kind of like change? So I can go, what should I just not even consider thinking about?
50 years.
Yeah, because I just go like, what really doesn't matter? Like, what's a waste of energy kind of stuff? Because I get obsessed with pointless shit a lot. It happens. So I go, what's 50 years behind? What's changed so much now that in 50 years' time it's going to be that? It's not even going to be thinking about. Like, if you go, people that had like AM radios, no one really thinks about it. I mean, to a degree, podcast is what radio and that come from, but no one's going, oh yeah, you know what was really cool? Like, just TVs exist now. No one thinks about an AM radio at any point. The only time people think about radio is in the car. Or
if there's some emergency that all the technology gets cut off or something like that, yeah.
No, yeah, and everyone's going to be like, whoa, we need it now. No one's going to know.
Yeah. 50 years.
Yeah. What do you think, like, 50 years is a long time to go? We went from, like, no planes at one point?
Nah, man, 50 years was the 1970s.
Yeah. Oh, 50 years now, yes.
I'm nearly 50 now. But I'm just saying, like, things have changed. Yeah, things have changed and things haven't. You know, the only thing that's really changed is technology.
Yeah.
That's really what's changed.
Yeah.
Apart from that, people are the same. People have the same attitudes. It is what it is. There's cars, there's houses. Fashions have changed, what have you, but that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But the main thing has been technology, and that's just driving everything into the new age. In 50 years from now, what do you reckon is going to be in 50 years from now? That's a bit of a head spin.
Well, that's what, you know, like, what's going to matter? And I think for sure there's going to be like brain implants. That's in the making at the moment. And that's going to go like, well, is being smart going to matter if we're all connected to the internet via our brain? Like, I think I like calculators. Having like in school learning mental math, it's useful. I'm not bagging it because I use it all the time, but they're like, you're not going to be able to walk around with a calculator. Oh, actually, I am.
Yes, you do.
Like I do now.
I wish I could go back and go to my teachers and be like, you see?
Yeah. We've got these things now, you idiots.
Yeah.
And I just imagine that if we're all going to end up with brain implants in 50 years,
Not me, man.
look, I think there's going to be a point where it's going to be unavoidable. It'll be like, you're the freak era where it's like, you want to be like a normal human, like you're just not going to survive or something. I don't know. I think about it a lot in a weird retrospect because think about how quickly I was slow to get a smartphone because I was paranoid about it's tracking all my shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And now I've just got to the point where I'm like, oh, I don't care. I know that Google knows where I am every second of the day. Everywhere knows where I am. The things are listening.
Data collection.
Yeah. And I was like, we all just accepted that. Whereas like if you went to 1970 and said to like anyone, well, you take this and we're just going to listen to everything you do. We're going to record everything you do. We're going to know where you are at all times. And you're going to be happy about it. I can't imagine anyone in 1970 was like, yeah, give me that. So I go like, what would and doesn't matter. So I think if you go to a brain implant, the first people that take it on will be crazy because it'll be like, how exponentially, insanely smart can you be now? But then at what point do people start going, I can't survive without it?
Yeah, nah, not me, mate. I'm gonna stay organic. I wanna stay an original organic human being. Yeah. The thing is that worries me about stuff like that.
Is how quickly can they control you?
No, because again, look, everybody can believe anything that they want to believe, but I believe you create. I believe there's a spirit within us. I believe there's a mind within us, a mind of free will, of control of what. And I don't like the thought that it doesn't matter because we've got these things on us anyway, but the thought of taking that, for me personally, and to put it into my body, it means that's it. I've become one with the artificial intelligence, whatever the case is. Through that, how can I be manipulated? How can my chemistry be controlled? You got to wonder to yourself, So the thought of it, but again, for me personally, because I'm old school, Generation X, that don't sound good to me. But for the millennials, might be a different kettle of fish.
I don't know. I'm a millennial and I'm still like, ugh. But then I look at like people below me, like teenagers now. I can imagine they just must just accept everything.
Oh, I have two teenagers. This thing, you may as well put it in their bloody brain. Yeah. You may as well, because to disconnect them from it
is the end of
it's the weirdest thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'd never had these things growing up.
Oh, I got a phone. The first one I got was in year 9, and it was like this big with an antenna that was like as long as my finger.
Oh yeah.
And I had to clip onto my like belt.
I remember when I was 18 years old and I went to a trip to the US to go visit all my fam.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the best thing. I had the best time. And I met all my cousins and we were all the same age. And the one thing that they had there that we didn't have here, they had pagers. Oh, I thought pagers were the duck's nuts, mate. I was like, what? So I went and bought myself a pager and yeah, man, everybody would be like paging you and what have you. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I came back home and I was like, gonna go get a pager. Obviously they didn't exist. But that was the time back in 1998 that mobile phones started to become somewhat prevalent. And I went and got a brick like you back in 1998.
Yeah.
And I remember my first bill came at $300. That was back in 1998. And I was like, nah, bugger, I can't use this again. It's too expensive.
I was trying to explain that to someone about the other day about prepaid credit. And they're like, what would you do if you ran out? And you're like, well, you'd go to a payphone. And they're like, what's a payphone? And I was like, well, they exist. They're still around. But you'd go on there and then you'd do 1-800 reverse. And then you'd leave the message, which would be like, call my mobile, I can't do anything. And then you'd hang it up so that they wouldn't answer the reverse phone. Because it was like a $5 bill. And you're like, just call my phone.
Isn't that a spin out that people... that the younger generations now, when you start talking about things like payphones and what have you, even just to think about it,
they're just like, what?
We used to have to carry around coins with us and put it in there, and then the operator let you know you need to put more money in here to keep this call going.
And that's just not even a thought. So I just imagine if look at what a phone is now, they're just going to plug it in my brain. Why not?
Do you reckon it'll go holographic?
What do you mean?
Well, like we're sitting together now. I guess so. We're sitting together physically. You can touch me, I can touch you, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say, is the next step of evolution where let's just say, Darcy, you go, hey, Tone, let's do a podcast, sweet as.
Yeah.
I don't need to come over your place, man. I'll just sit at home and holographically appear and as if I'm here.
They've got, I've seen some stuff where they've got like screens that can pretty much do it. They're like a projector that will sit behind a desk and it looks that real. But then they've got like Facebook's or Meta. It's got them VR, the metaverse, which is like VR where it looks exactly the same. Like it would look like this. And I just think, I don't know, the only way it can work, I think, is if you had like a suit that made you feel everything the same. And then people were like, this is better than the outside world.
Oh, I reckon people get lost in that world.
Yeah. But then I think there's other people that go, no way. Because we had in 2016 virtual reality walkthroughs of display homes in the shop that I was working in. So you'd be like, yep, come in, you can do a virtual reality walkthrough. And people didn't want to do it because they were like, I don't want to put this thing on my head.
Those guys when we were at BNI,
Yes.
I did it.
Yeah.
I asked them, I'm like, guys, can I forget the guys. It was Trent, was it? Maybe.
It was Trent, and we actually did a podcast that never came out. We did VR with it.
And I did that with them. I asked them specifically, can I do it? So I did it. And it was, yeah, man, it was unreal.
Yeah.
It was just like I was walking through the house.
Yeah.
And that was then. Imagine how much better it is now.
Yeah, and that, like, they didn't take off. Like, people didn't go like, oh, yeah, I want to do virtual. Like, people hate dealing with salespeople, they reckon. But then they'll go to a display village instead of doing it from their own home. And you're like, where? So I think it's hard for VR to kind of take that thing, because there is a lot of people that don't want to be sitting with stuff on their head, and there is people that will. But I think the chip in the brain, that one will be a lot easier for people to uptake. At first it won't, of course, like everything. But I reckon there'll be a point where people just go, yep, this is it. And I think it's a lot sooner than I expected.
So what's your projection? We're now entering into 2024. What do you reckon?
2050, for sure.
You reckon let's say 25 years, 26 years from
So
now?
if I think of 2000 to now, insane differences. So if you think 25 to now, easy.
Do you reckon that technology's become more exponential though? Whereas let's say 5 years development from, I'm just making it up, from 1998 through to 2003, and then the same amount of progress may be made from 2003 to 2005, and then from 2005 to 2006. Like, do you see how it gets more exponential?
The thing that I noticed, there is like small bits that become big jumps, where there'll be everything doubles in size and capacity and all that kind of crap. But then there's like these weird bits where it's like a massive change. Like when it went from shitty phones to smartphones. That's a huge jump, because a smartphone from like a Nokia 3310, or even the one that was after that with a bit of colour, was massive. And then there's things like, YouTube. Like that from like TV, that's TV now. Like kids don't watch a channel, they watch YouTube. And they go through that, and you just go, that's such a massive jump of like, we've just accepted a change and this is normal now.
Well, I still say that COVID pushed that technology and exponentiated it. And here's what I mean. Pre-COVID, I used to run around, do all the listing docs in person, get all the contracts signed in person. I used to do so much driving around and running around.
Yeah.
If not, I would put it into a PDF, shoot it across. It'd have to be printed, highlighted where to sign, etc., etc. All of a sudden, DocuSign came into play, and DocuSign. So that's a story. So I'm stuck in my old ways back in just before COVID and then after COVID or whatever. And then one of my assistants goes, Tone, you're doing a lot of volume, you're running around, you're being inefficient. Comes back down to the efficiency factors we were talking about.
Yeah.
I said, you need to learn how to use DocuSign. I'm not going to learn how to do DocuSign. I'm happy with the way I'm doing it. It's working, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No, Tone. Just spend an hour, spend some time with me. Just let me show you it. Oh, I'm not doing it. And that was my attitude.
Yeah.
Because I was just busy. I got my own things going on. Anyways, all of a sudden, I had to do a deal. Actually, it was for Louis Harriman, Louis and Lauren Harriman. I was selling their property, and whoever was buying it, the circumstances, and then I needed to do DocuSign. There was no other way. So I went to my assistant. I said, all right, fine, sit down with me. Let's do it. Just show me. 30 minutes into it, I was like, oh my God, this is so easy. Why did I not want to do this? and then afterwards, I remember the first, I sent it out, and then 5 minutes later,
It's done.
They all came back signed, and I was just like, what?
Yep.
Where have you been all my life?
I think it was a thing for me. I was the same. It's the explaining of the document, and then you realise people aren't that dumb. They can read it, and if they've got questions, they'll ask you before they sign it.
Oh, yeah, get on the I always say to people all the time, if we, like, let's say using DocuSign, I say, okay, I've sent it through to you, DocuSign. You happy with DocuSign? Yep, I've sent it through to you. Cool. I'm on my screen. You're on your screen. As you're going through it, questions or queries, get on the buzzer. And that stops me from driving all around bloody Perth, running around crazy, which leaves you with more time for trail hiking or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that ties back into what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
You have to just learn to become more efficient.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a key to anything. And it's not a shortcut. It is actually efficient. Because some people go, oh, shortcut. It's not shortcuts. It's if there's a better way to do it.
It's called efficiency.
Yeah.
And shortcuts as well. There's nothing. Like I say, holographically, we might be sitting with each other. FaceTime, we can sit with each other. We don't, in this new world, I'm doing business with people and I'm selling properties to people. I mean, I sold a property to a lady in Alaska.
Really?
Yeah, I sold a property in Secret Harbor to a bloke in New York. I remember I was video calling him and what have you. The world's come to a point where, dead set, you just work with it and use the advantage of it, if that makes sense.
Alaska's just, that's kind of I sold one to an Australian who was living in Ghana. And like it was an engineer, so he was super smart. We did everything, designed his whole house online. And he's like, I can't come there because it's COVID. And I was like, oh yeah. But Alaska, I always think of Alaska as like a barren wasteland, but then I realised it's not.
As far away it's not, and the whole world has become nothing.
Yeah.
But the days, I go back to, we talk about days. So I'd said, when I was 18, I went to visit all my cousins. And I remember I got back and my cousin would write me a letter. Fucking letter. And now I think about it, I'm like, what? That's old school. And you'd get it in the letterbox and it'd be so exciting. And it took 2 weeks to get here and you'd read it. And it was amazing. And a couple of days ago, Ange and I were driving somewhere and all of a sudden, same cousin, boop, comes up on my screen in my car, and we were just FaceTiming each other as we were driving along. And it was just like, what a different world we live in now.
Yeah, well, you think that's like that 50-50. You know, you go like letters, now it's just instant video face.
Video face, hey man, what's up? What's going on?
I think there's a lost art in letters, but because I remember as a kid you'd get a letter from someone, like I grew up in Melbourne and then we came over here when I was younger, and then I'd get letters from my friends in Melbourne, and I thought that was like, at the time, but then you're like, I've got this forever. And like, yeah, you get emails forever and you got text messages forever if you want to save them, but you're never going to go like how much effort this took. Like a letter took effort. An SMS or an email doesn't.
It's just a different way of doing it.
It is. I think it's very, I think it's like a lost thing. And I know I've met some like really old people, like I still send my friends letters. And I was like, wow.
I was listening to a futurist and this was a futurist talking in the 1930s.
Yeah.
And he was an English futurist and he was going, oh, the future is this, and this. And it spun me out. I was like, yeah, you were bang on, mate. Pretty much. And you're bang on because you already had that technology back then anyway. You just hadn't released it to the public yet, so you guys kind of knew what was the plan. But hey, what would I know? But anyway,
yeah, I think there's a lot of things that change that are very great. I don't know about bad. Sometimes I get annoyed. I think phones are bad, but then I'm like, they're really not. They're pretty awesome.
The bad side of it is that the fact that if you don't want to be, but they track, they listen to you. There's no privacy. That's the bad side of it. You can get hacked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some of the old school ways were better, but again, I think it's an integration. Like with everything, you gotta take the good and bad of everything.
Yeah.
And sort of just work with it. Remember, we're only transient here for a short time anyway, so roll with it. We've only got another 20, 30 years, 40 years, whatever the case is. And then you can get recycled. And if you come back, you deal with it, whatever it is then.
The new version.
Yeah, if you're to my Indian friends out there with the reincarnation, when we come back, you can deal with it again.
All right, we'll wrap it up here.
Legend.
Cheers for coming on. Actually, no, I've got one more question. That's what I was meant to ask you.
Yeah.
As most real estate agents I've heard that do really well, they always stay at the same place. And you've been at 2 different places. What was kind of the thought process to change? Because I remember a long time ago you said, "I'm happy where I am. There's no need for me to change. I'm just doing what I'm doing." So what kind of made the idea of a change?
So I've only ever had a few jobs in my life.
Yep.
I've been married for like 25 years.
Yep.
So I don't like, basically, long story short, I don't really change that easily.
Yep.
And I didn't change because here's what happened. And this is, and I've explained this to a lot of people. LJ Hooker Rockingham as a business got put onto the business sales market.
Yep.
Elders Corporation came in and bought it.
Oh.
And bought the rent roll.
Yeah.
And bought the whole thing. So I actually didn't move. It just became a simple situation of,
The company got bought out.
do you stay with this company now because it's rebranded and now this is what it is, or do you want to move? But the fact of the matter is that Elders, in all fairness, I couldn't say anything negative about them.
Yeah.
Really good family vibe, so much support. All the upper management are awesome. I mean, I've got 3 super smart people that I could call for any question seriously, and it'll get answered, and they'll be there for you. Yeah, so I never changed, to be honest with you. We stuck with the same. So Elders just got bought, and then Elders just bought out Professionals Rockingham.
Yep.
So now a lot of us work in the same office together.
Yep.
And if I was going to shift, I remember at the time Martina and I were kind of in discussions, and I was, to be honest with you, I was almost there.
Yeah.
I almost was going to jump to Professionals. I love Martina, and she's a good operator.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I decided to stay where I was, and I'm glad I did because they're awesome. But then it doesn't matter because it would have all become the same anyway. So
Yeah.
So yeah. So Elders, good company. They got 100 years behind them. Our processes have become so much better. I've learned so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't say anything negative about Elders. Good company.
Yeah.
Very good.
So I guess there was no change. It was just a shift of name.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that sets the record straight.
Well, that's it. Yeah, there's no change. It's the same thing. Actually, I will. There's something you told me. The 3 Ds.
Oh yeah.
We'll finish it with the 3 Ds. So if anyone that's going through death, divorce, or
The bank. You know, it was a South African colleague of mine, old Jimmy, and that's where I learned it from. But it was his accent that made it really awesome. Because he'd say, the 3 Ds of real estate. I'd be like, what's that? He'd be like, death, divorce, the bank. I'd be like, okay, I like that. I'll use that, mate.
So if you're ever going through them, you got to go Tony.
Oh, yeah. Look, and hopefully for all the right reasons, upsizing, downsizing, moving across the country, whatever. However, if somebody needs to sell a property, I'd definitely say I do enough of this that I've got strategies, and I've got strategies that work well.
Yeah.
And always happy to have a discussion with anybody, anytime.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, legend, mate.